Okay, so here we go with our video 19, I believe. And that one is we're going to continue our stuff about average and then we'll go and move on to something called measures of variation. But bear with me. One thing at a time. Okay, so we talked about mode, median, mid-range, average, which is also called the mean, right? So we still want to talk about mean, also known as average, right? Hold on, here we go. I apologize, I need my pencil back. Hold on, pencil, here we go. So, the also known as average, and I told you about this symbol used in many books that this would be the average, but there's another symbol favored by the book that you have, and here it is, an X with a bar on top, X bar, that's how it's called, X bar. So X bar is another way of saying average. All right, so just don't get confused. Don't get confused. Mostly if you're looking into your book and probably on the tests, it's going to look like this, average. All right. I got to tell you some more about average because it's about group data. We talked about group data. It's true. But what if you get a situation, a list like this? You get 100. You have whatever this means, whatever this is being measured, 100 to 140. Let's say it could be weights again, 100 to 140 is one class. They're called classes. Right? It's a class of data. Instead of 100 to 101 pounds, it's between 100 and 104. So they're called a class of data. And there's going to be a frequency table for that type of thing too, right? So it's a frequency. So hold on. So between 100 and 104, there's, let's say three people. There's between 105 and 109, right? You can see it's going up to, this goes up to 4, and this starts from 5 to 9. You can see how it's working here. So let's say there are 8 people. For the class of 110 to 114, there are 16 people. 115 to 119, there are 13 people. 120 to 124, this class, there are 7 people. I need this to go a little deeper. 125 to 129, 129, there are 2 people. And finally, 130, 134, that class is going to be 1 person. Okay, so now, how do you deal with finding this average of this group data? Sorry, let's use our new symbol that we got to get more used to. How do you deal with that? Here's what you got to do. You've got to find the midpoint of the class. We've got to make a third table of the midpoint, and it's going to be extremely easy. The midpoint of between 100 and 104 is 102. The midpoint of 105 to 109, 107. 110 to 114, 112. You can see it's in the middle. 115 to 119, 117. 120 to 124, 122. 125 to 129, 127. 130 to 134, 132. There's our midpoints. So what do? You've got to multiply the frequency times the midpoint. Forget the class now. We don't need that class anymore. You got to multiply the frequency times the midpoint, or the midpoint times the frequency, however you want to look at it. What is this equal to? This was the question. Keep that out of the way. This is equal to 306. This is equal to 856. You get a calculator. You can do this pretty fast. This is 1792. This one you multiply by the numbers. What do I just do? 3 times 102, then 8 times 107, 16 times 112 is 1792, 13 times 117 is 1521, 7 times 122 is 854. So it's, remember that when you have a class and frequency, get the midpoint of the class and multiply times the frequency. You'll see what else we do. It's not much more after this. It's very tedious, but you have a calculator for problems like this. 254, 132. 1 times 132 is 132. What do you add up? Add up all the frequencies, like we did last time with group data. The class is a type of group data. It's a subset of group data. Add up all the frequencies, you get 50. Add up all these numbers when you frequency times midpoint, and you get 5715. And guess what you do once you have these two numbers? Forget about the midpoint we needed for our multiplication, but we don't need that anymore. What do we need? What we need at the end of the day is these two numbers. They're adding up all the frequencies and the 5715. Take the 5715 and divide by 50, and there's your average. Your average is equal to 114.3. And this problem is over. That's how you deal with a situation where you have class data. Okay, we can fit one more thing on this, at least one more thing on this video number, I think it's 19. What if you have couple data items? You got, let's say, 70, 73, 58, 60. You've got 72, and you've got 65. And so let's separate these two questions. And you're asked a question, what is the range of this data? What is the range of this data? This is going to be a simple question. Don't forget how to do this. It's going to be easy. Take the highest number that you see over here. You don't have to arrange it in ascending order. You can just pretty much scan it and look for the highest number, and you can see that it's 73. Then look for the lowest number, scan it, look for the lowest number, and it's 58. And guess what you do? You subtract the lowest from the highest. 73 minus 58. And what does that equal? That's equal to 15. There is your range. That's your range. There we go. 73 minus 58 is going to be your range, 15. Okay, that's it for this video. We pretty much run out of space. We got to go to measures of variance next, which will be 11.4 material. Here, let's get out of here.